We just got one of the biggest information drops on GTA 6 since forever. I think since Rockstar revealed the game. And it didn't come from another trailer or anything like that. They actually released a massive new feature on GTA 6 and they spoke directly with several Rockstar developers. And buried throughout this article, there's a lot of stuff, but buried throughout it, there's some stuff and new details about open world, Jason and Lucia, character switching, NPCs, customization, relationship systems, music, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, Rob Nelson, Rockstar North's head of development and co-studio head, spoke about the enormous expectation surrounding the game. GTA 5 released 13 years ago, and Day says work on GTA 6 began roughly around the same time. That means that Rockstar has spent more than a decade watching expectations for this game grow to a level we have never ever seen. Nelson admits that there is this unprecedented external pressure surrounding GTA 6, although he says that the pressure Rockstar puts on itself is even greater. That's crazy, right? That pressure seems to have resulted in Rockstar looking back at its previous games and asking what actually could be improved. Nelson explains that they critically examine older Rockstar titles and identify things that they couldn't accomplish because of technology, resources, time, or because they didn't execute certain ideas as well as they wanted to. Now, GTA 6 appears to be the culmination of that process because several systems introduced in Red Dead Redemption 2 are returning and being expanded for GTA 6. Now, one of the most interesting examples is how Vice City reacts to the player. Day specifically says that days of moving through the city like a god are gone, and your actions now have consequences. And they actually gave a really incredibly simple example. If you're walking down the street and you take out a rifle, the city is going to have something crazy to say about it. They are going to react to you just pulling out a fucking rifle, okay? And that could completely change how the game feels, how Vice City feels. And, obviously if you see someone carrying a weapon openly, it's going to make you a little bit nervous and it's going to attract a lot of attention. So I think people are going to react that same way, similar when you're carrying a gun in GTA 6. And who knows, maybe this leads to other systems like contacting the police or getting attacked or something like that if you're just wandering around the street with a gun. Now, Days confirms that GTA 6 is bringing back and expanding Rockstar's system that physically alters the protagonist depending on how you play. Food affects Jason and Lucia's weight, while exercising can make you look more healthier and muscular. They also said that if Jason or Lucia spend a long period away from their bed, stay on the run from police, or goes on what Days described as a multi-day bender, their appearance is going to reflect it. Your lifestyle will essentially become visible on the character that you're controlling. Rockstar wants the way that you've been playing to leave a physical mark on Jason or Lucia. Now, Rockstar's senior vice president of narrative, Robert Humphries, described GTA 6 as consciously being built around a Bonnie and Clyde type narrative. Obviously, we understood that basic idea since the first trailer. Jason and Lucia are, lovers committing crimes together, and eventually they find themselves caught in something very big. What we didn't really know was how much of their relationship would influence the actual gameplay. According to Days, players can operate as Jason and Lucia together or separate and cause chaos independently. One example they provide has Jason driving down the highway while Lucia sits in the passenger seat scrolling through the in-game phone. That sounds so fucking cool to me. It sounds so cool, right? And as they're driving down and she's on her phone, a car chase ensues. And Days described this as a fluid system where you could be driving as Jason and within a split second, you can switch to Lucia and start shooting the gun. The switching of the characters is going to be so good, so fast, so much fluid that I cannot wait to experience it, because one of the things that I always kind of hated about GTA 5 was changing characters and how long it took sometimes to, find the other character or something like that. It always kind of made me roll my eyes a little bit. And this is really interesting now, how quickly it's actually going to change. And to be honest with you, I'm probably going to be playing most of the time with Jason, but if I can have Lucia with me and where it can be, riding around a motorcycle or in the same car or, going to the fucking, store to buy shit together. I'm doing that, okay? It sounds fucking insane, but I'm fucking doing that. I want her with me. I want to get fucking crazy. So that's going to be really fucking dope, and it's really exciting, to be honest with you. Dazed also described GTA 6 as having a deep relationship mechanic and says that player choices can have repercussions that go considerably deeper than Rockstar's previous honor system. Rob Nelson says that these characters aren't just empty avatars where the player can simply do whatever they want without consideration for who they are. Rockstar still wants players to express themselves, but it doesn't want to lose the identities of Jason and Lucia in the process. Nelson also described their story as a journey that the player shares with them. Days also touched a little bit on GTA 6's NPCs. It stated that the populations are more varied than anything Rockstar has ever created before. People differ in age, body types, tattoos, piercings, plastic surgery, clothing, and style. And a lot of these differences are influenced by where they actually live within the state of Leonida. Someone walking through Little Cuba shouldn't necessarily look or behave like somebody you'd encounter somewhere completely different in the state. Rockstar senior art director Jamie Lee Lloyd also said that new tools and pipelines were developed specifically to create the most detailed and varied character population Rockstar has ever made. The scale of the NPC work is so large that Rockstar actually has a branch in Los Angeles dedicated almost entirely to NPCs and pedestrians. That's what $1 billion in investment I think brings you, to be honest with you. Now, the research behind Leonida is equally wild. Rockstar employees have spent years visiting Miami, the surrounding areas, and Day says that there's a dedicated research team embedded in the city. Developers have met with former criminals, law enforcement, club promoters, gun dealers, and other influential or notorious people that are willing to speak to them. And all of this has been influenced and shown in the game. Music is another major component of this. Rockstar specifically researched Miami's musical history and the way its hip-hop culture exists across different environments, from house parties to clubs to the extremely expensive nightlife. That's why characters like Draquan and Rio Dimes have such an important presence in the world. They're Rockstar's way of giving us access to different sides of Vice City's music culture. And Vice City stylist Jillian Carr has worked with Rockstar since 2023, creating what Days calls an in-game fashioned ecosystem. The idea that clothing represents differences in taste, money, lifestyle, and personality. Carr describes Vice City as a place built around vanity, where social media, tourism, and celebrity culture make appearances extremely important. And look, there's a few other little snippets in the article. If you want, I can share it down below so you can go have a full read. But I think when you put all of this together, we finally have a much better idea of what Rockstar has been doing with GTA 6. And when you put it in a list like this, it honestly makes me way more excited to go and see this. And the hype of the game is finally starting to build up for me personally, because I've just been kind of I'm even like, oh yes, I'm waiting for it. I know it's going to be great. I know I'm going to have a great time. But hearing the little details makes me really happy, and I cannot wait to see what Rockstar shows us tomorrow and see it in glorious 4K or as close to it as you can, and really explore those details.